Alright guys, how's it going? As you can see, we picked up a new tank of welding gas, so this harness bar is gonna be done today. What I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of cut a little piece off of the tube and off the plate, and just practice welding them together as like just a practice piece, because I want to get these welds looking nice. Well, I got a couple pieces of scrap metal ready to go. Got the welder up over here. I'm gonna throw my flame retardant jacket on. Pretty stoked on this thing actually. Grab my helmet, get some practice welds in, and we'll dive into this. So I just did some practice welds. They're pretty bad. I got to a point where I'm comfortable. I've got some solid penetration. They're not the prettiest, but I think that's going to come with practice, and this is what this is practice. So I'm going to go take that harness bar out so we can get it welded. Alright guys, I'm kind of reluctant to show you guys this because I don't want to catch some hate. I think I need to show you guys so that once I get better, we can kind of be like, this is where I came from. So, well, here you go. They definitely could be better. They did get full penetration on the tubing and the plate, so I'm happy with that. I'm a little disappointed, but I haven't welded a whole lot and I don't have any proper training, so for pretty much being self-taught so far, I'll take it. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and lay some primer just on the main portion of the bar and some black paint. Then we'll weld the plates in and then I'll prime and paint those. I just don't want to have to paint this whole thing in the car. So I'm gonna take a break, do that, and then we'll be right back. Well, I'm kind of bored of waiting for paint to dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut out a piece of steel for the sub harness to bolt to, like kind of beneath the seat. Got a game plan. I got an extra piece scrap steel that I'm actually going to use, and it's just going to go basically from this bar down, and we'll put a nut on it so that we can run a bolt through it, and that'll pretty much conclude the entire harness install today. So also all the connectors that I'm waiting for, I mean, I've got plenty of things to do on the wiring harness aside from that, but all the connectors for like the dash harness and everything, those show up tonight. They might already be at my house, so that's what we'll be targeting tomorrow, that and the dash harness. And then we still got to go through this whole I'm not going to go through the engine harness like we did with the chassis harness, because I just don't have the time to, and money. I want to do that right, and to do that right, I'm gonna have to tear it all down and get more loom, because this stuff's a little too big for the loom that I got, and I need to get some high temp stuff anyways. So we're gonna wait on that, but I gotta get it powered so that we get our ECU power and anything else that needs power up here. So that'll be like the next 2 or 3 days worth of content. Got our plate all cleaned up, got a hole drilled, gonna weld a nut to the back of it so that we can just thread a bolt through it. Then we'll prep that. When we weld the bash bar, when we weld the harness bar in, we'll weld this in. So I'm gonna weld a nut onto this, and then we should be ready to put that in. Harness bar's ready to go in. I just gotta take it down. We also got the that plate made for the sub harness. So let's get things cleaned up one last time and weld this in. All right, sorry for just kind of being like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then I did that, and not really showing anything. But we got the harness bar tacked back in. I about to grind that up. There's another look at it. So I'm gonna clean it up, clean up that lower section so we can put the sub harness mount in, and then we'll go to town with some welds. Almost. Send it. What the fuck? I forgot that fire thing. This fire thing. Pull the pin just in case. What the fuck that noise was? We're good. Get me the fuck out of here. Alright, so now that we got the harness bar in, I want to take a quick moment and try to modify this B pillar garnish. I got it marked out on the back. I do kind of want to try to run a semi interior in here for at least the season while we have the harness bar. Alright, we're going to see if we can sneak it by just by spreading this. If we can, then sweet. If not, then we'll just cut this other side. Needs a little bit of trimming. Alright, so I tried just making a little bit of a different shape. Cool. I'm pleased with it. Now we got to do the other side. Now we got to find the other side. Then we'll tackle that, and then we'll. I guess we should probably test fit the seat. Yeah, I kind of forgot. That's kind of an exciting part. I just spent way too long getting everything adjusted so it feels and fits just right. And we're good to go. I mean, everything feels fucking amazing. It felt good to be like so planted that like I'm not gonna be like sliding in the seat. It's just I'm just gonna be there, and I can focus on driving and not holding myself in place. So holy shit, it's a seat with a seat belt. And that fits up there nicely. I also did and trimmed for the S14 seat belt and got that all fit in there. I think I'm gonna, next time I pull those plastics off, I'm gonna paint the inside black so they blend a little bit better. They don't stand out. But other than that, I'm super stoked, super pleased with how it turned out. And I mean, my welds could be a little better, yeah, most definitely. But it's a learning process, and I'm fucking super proud of that. So that's one project done, and let's move back into wiring. before we get too carried away with that, I'm actually going to take a minute and clean up the shop. All right, well, I didn't quite get the whole shop cleaned up, but I got like this half of it cleaned up. But the workbench looks good, and this area looks good. I got a pile still, but I stopped a little short because we got a little surprise for you. Say hi, Michael.
What's up? What's up?
He stopped by and we got to talking about the car, and now we're just working on the car. So Michael's just going through and pulling out some clips, like stock OEM harness.
They were bugging me just looking at it.
Like the OEM harness, like zip ties that clamp on. And I'm actually gonna start pulling up all of this stuff. Like, I know Kaylin's gonna hate me for it because she wanted to keep it quiet.
It doesn't. It just gets in the way.
But it's killing me. Like when I take pictures and like, you know, film the all my like wiring and all my work, it's just like this nasty furry shit everywhere. So I'm gonna pull that out and then I'm gonna get to working on the harness, and we'll clean up the rest of the shop at the end of the night. Oh, so much better. So much clean. I mean, obviously the fuse panel isn't bolted up, but I think now I'm gonna cut the front harness to length, start hooking that up, put the eyelets on it, then we'll pull the front harness out and wrap it. Hey Michael, what'd you get done today?
Not a whole lot. I mean, I got some plugs routed, cut out to length, and then I decided to try to flip the injectors to have them face in like this. But as you can see, the manifold hits it and the hole's not lined up. So I'm gonna have to put them back to how they were, which is a bummer because then the plugs stick out. But like I said, whatever.
While he was working on that, I got the front harness mostly done. He came over and helped me towards the end. I've got to just de-pin this and loom that, and then these will be for some Hot Boy shit later on. But I'm not exactly sure how those are going to come together yet, so I'm just kind of at a standstill for this. But it turned out really nice. I'm super pleased with it. But it's time to go home. And so that brings us to the end of day 3 on the spring break dailies. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. Later. Peace.